Question 5. Show that sine a plus cosine a equivalent to root 2 sine a plus pi over 4. This question, if he said show that or prove that, it's the same. Sometimes this question will be the same if he said simplify. If he gives only one side and he said simplify, it's the same solution, no difference. But in show that and prove that, we know already what will be the final answer or the expression we have to get at the end of the solution. If he said simplify, we will simplify as possible, and we are not sure that it's the exact value or not. So if he said show that or prove that, it's better than if he said simplify. In this question we have two sides, left hand side and right hand side. In one side we have a part with a rule. We'll see that we have a part with a rule. Sine of adding or subtracting two angles, cosine adding or subtracting two angles. In the side with a rule, expand this rule using its expression. In right hand side, we can see that we have this part which represent the rule of sine of sine of adding two angles. So using the expression of sine of sum of two angles, we have to expand this part. It will be root 2 inside bracket. It will be sine cosine cosine sine. The first angle is a, the second angle is pi over 4. First angle is a, second angle pi over 4. The sign between, which is positive or negative, will be the same as the bracket. Then simply we will multiply root 2 by the expression by the bracket to expand root 2 sine a cosine pi over 4 plus root 2 cosine a sine pi over 4. As we say in the last question, after expanding, if you have a part with a number, its angle given as a number, calculate or put its value. Here we can see that we have the part cosine pi over 4 and sine pi over 4. Find their values. It will be root 2 sine a multiply root 2 over 2 plus root 2 cosine a multiply root 2 over 2. Multiply these two parts, multiply these two parts, root 2 multiply root 2 over 2 equal 1. So this part will be sine a plus root 2 multiply root 2 over 2 equal 1. So this part will be cosine a, and it's the same as this side, equal left hand side. As we get the same expression at the other side, we are sure that we get the correct answer. Question 6 will be similar. Here he gives an expression and he said simplify. I said if he said simplify, show that, same steps, same solution. But the difference is, in the question of prove that or show that, we know exactly what will be the final answer or what is the expression we have to get at the end. If he said simplify, we'll use rules and simplify as we can, but we are not sure that this is the correct final answer. In both questions, if we have a part with rule, we have to expand using the expression of this rule. In this question, we have two parts with rules. This part, sine of difference between two angles, and this part, sine of sum of two angles. Expand each part using its rule. So it will be sine cosine cosine sine. The first angle is x, second angle is pi over 6, x pi over 6. Between them it will be the same sign. The other part plus 2 multiply, expand here, sine x plus pi over 6. It will be sine cosine cosine sine, sine x cosine pi over 6, cosine x sine pi over 6, and the sign between will be the same plus. As we said before, if you have any part its angle given as a number, find its value. Here we have this part, pi over 6, pi over 6, pi over 6, pi over 6. So this part cosine pi over 6 will be root 3 over 2 multiplied by sine x, minus sine pi over 6 equal 1 over 2 multiply cosine x. Here we are simplifying as we can, plus 2 multiply cosine pi over 6 equal root 3 over 2 multiply sine x, plus sine pi over 6 equal 1 over 2 multiply cosine x. Expand this bracket. Here all of these steps are only steps of simplifying. Expanding brackets, multiplying fraction, subtracting fraction, dividing fraction, collecting like part, like this. These are points of simplifying. So it will be root 3 over 2 sine x minus 1 over 2 cosine x plus 2 multiply root 2 over 2 root 3 over 2, it will be root 3 multiply sine x plus 2 multiply 1 over 2, it will be 1 cosine x. After that we have similar parts, sine x, cosine x, cosine x. So we have to collect like parts or similar parts with their signs. Root 3 over 2 sine x plus root 3 sine x equal 3 root 3 over 2 sine x. Negative 1 over 2 cosine x, here it's negative 1 over 2. Don't be confused and use it as positive 1 over 2. You have to take each part with its sign. Negative 1 over 2 cosine x plus 1 cosine x equal negative 1 over 2 equal positive 1 over 2 cosine x. And this is the final answer. For this question we got the final answer in the simplest form as we can. If he said prove that in this question, he gave the same side and he said prove that or show that, he will write this expression beside it here and he will put equivalent. So it will be the same as the last question.